Hey guys, welcome back to Daily Insomnia. This is episode 190, coming to you on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon.
It's an early one.
It's an early one.
Early one. But today, guys, in the building, in the studio, our favorite comedian. Every comedian's a favorite comedian.
He's already lying to you, man. And we just
hey, man, I already like you, bro. We connected on a whole nother level right now,
Starting
right?
off real high.
Jayson Acevedo, all right? He's performing Laugh Factory. He's performed at the Zanies Improv. Also, you sing?
I do.
You sing. I saw that video. I loved it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
But, hey, welcome, man. Welcome.
I was like, when did Michael Bublé?
Yeah.
Doesn't make
Michael
sense.
Bublé?
Michael Bublé? Is it Bublé? Bubbly? What
The
is it?
sound is bubbly.
Yeah, right. No, but welcome, man. Welcome to the Daily Insomnia studio, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Hell yeah.
You were the last comic that got booked, man. We were looking for the fourth one, because we've had Oscar on, so we knew he was gonna be on the show.
Great
Deanna,
comic, by the way.
yeah, Deanna, we saw her at Mescal Mondays.
Yeah.
That she killed.
Okay.
So we had her on, and then Abby, we seen him a handful of times.
I had no
handful of
time.
times. So we were looking for that special fourth, man. The special fourth, man. That made the fourth be with you kind of special.
Yeah.
You know, and luckily, man, I saw that you had followed us.
Yes.
And I was like, this guy's funny. I saw that the recording you have on YouTube where you started off in Spanish.
Yeah.
What was I wearing? That's what I always have to ask. 'cause then
You
I
were wearing
know
a jacket.
which one. Was it
Like-
a red jacket?
Red jacket.
Dope.
Yeah.
That's the one.
And I was like, you started in Spanish. I'm like, oh, he only does in Spanish. And I was like,
Or this guy kill him both ways.
and then,
Spanish
because
and
I was like, but then when I saw that it was just your thing about
Yeah.
going into English, I was like, oh, okay, smart. I like
Because
that.
like we talked about earlier, having performed in Mexico, I did the reverse.
Yeah.
So I started in English
Oh, in
to
Mexico?
fuck with them.
Yeah.
And then I went into Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah.
But basically, man, we want to get you on the podcast just because we want to get to know the comics and give our audience an opportunity to get to know the comics that we're gonna have on the showcase, the Insomnia Comedy Hour,
Hell yeah.
June 24th.
At Mookie's Crystal Lake.
Crystal Lake. Doors open at 6:30, and show starts at 7:30. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But getting that out of the way, how did you start into comedy, man? Like, what gave you that push to go into this field?
I started officially doing comedy 11 years ago now. I'm
11 years.
16. I'm 27 now.
Okay.
And I think I always knew, my parents definitely knew that I just was not going to be able to stop talking from an early age. So I was always like the funny kid. So that came naturally to me, talking to other people, whether they were my age or not, or older. That came naturally to me. I never thought that I could do stand-up. I always thought that I could be better as an improviser because I love not preparing. I love, being in the moment. And I love being big. I love playing characters that are not me. But when I started doing stand-up, I think it was just, again, I never thought that I would end up doing all the things that I've done up to this point, which is like tour most parts of the country that I never thought I'd see, having been in 4 other countries and performed. So, it's I just started because I was at an improv class at Second City in Chicago, and they happened to have an open mic after the class, so I just was like, let me just try some jokes, and then from that point I was just like, okay, let's keep doing this, and then I would just do both, and doing both is, it's very good for me because, one informs the other, and it's like also like a mood-based thing, so it's like, do I want to be by myself? It's easier to tour as a stand-up as opposed to touring with a whole group, because then you have to worry about schedules and all that stuff, but with stand-up, it's just me. There's no maintenance costs. I don't have to like set up anything. It's just they have the mic and everything. But yeah, I think I started off by I watched a lot of stand up growing up.
Yeah, like who were some of the comics you liked?
I used to watch a lot of Chris Rock, Sam Kinison, Cosby. I used to before we knew everything. Yeah. And I used to watch a lot of trying to think. Pryor. Pryor sometimes would pop up on TV, and I always, but I think it was Chris Rock that did it for me first. Because I loved watching someone be loud and just telling people how it is or how it should be, and Yeah, I think I don't really talk about that often, but honestly, when I started watching more stand-up was because, or the way I started watching more stand-up was because, you probably know this. Like, I mean, but are y'all Mexican?
Yeah.
So y'all have cousins up the asshole.
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
So for me, like when I would go to like a part, like one of my mom's friends' party, a lot of them wouldn't have kids, or the kids would be older, or just they wouldn't be.
Oh, so
there.
you were the younger one.
Yeah, so they would just put you, like there were some parties where they just put you in a room, like here's a TV,
Yeah.
and we'll see you at 1.
Yeah.
So I would just watch Comedy Central after dark, and there's something about like there's like a thrill, like before you experience like your first like orgasm, or before you like where you come for the first time. There's that thing.
I'm still chasing that feeling. I'm still chasing that feeling. You know?
Every day.
There's that
Every day.
feeling that you get when you watch someone else just swear and you're the only one there, and you're like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So that started a lot when I was a kid, and I never knew that I could do it again, but I mean, I thought to myself that would be cool to try and do something like that eventually. But yeah.
And how did that first open mic go? Like when you
It
jumped
actually
up?
went real well.
Yeah?
I actually don't remember too much of it. I feel like a lot of people remember it vividly, but I just remember doing a couple stupid jokes, and like for what a 16-year-old could do at the time.
Where did the land a 16-year-old in?
Second City.
Second City.
Second
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you could be that young and still be?
Because Second
Well,
City has like
I was taking youth classes.
Yeah.
Oh,
youth classes,
okay.
Yeah, so took youth classes, and like I said, our class right after there was a teen open jam mic type of thing. So you could do improv, but you could also try stand up. So I would just start doing stand up every week after the class, and and then also classmates were, that's what's great about improv is that the people that you surround yourself around, everybody's so supportive. So they were always just like, go up, try new shit, and yeah, that's how it started. And what's crazy is that summer I did my first showcase. So it was like a summer showcase for other kids. I just happened to be in the improv camp, but I knew the teacher, so I was like, can I get a spot? And they put me on last, and I was like, okay. And
Let me kill.
Fucking killed. That video's on my Instagram of my first showcase ever.
That's what's up.
Oh,
man.
wow. I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
And I have a friend who's been doing comedy for like 4 or 5 years, and he watched it, and he was just like, gee, like, fuck you. Like, you're 16, and you are better than most people who have probably just started or have been doing it longer, because he was just like, you just were so confident about yourself and what you were saying. And I mean, if you ever get the chance to watch it, I'm definitely way more ahead of where I was, obviously, when I was 16.
Of course, yeah.
But a lot of those, I feel like I'm that kid. I'm just more evolved.
Yeah.
I'll take notes.
So you never had any of that stage fright?
No.
Naturally came to you?
Yeah, I never. It's been a long time since I've ever got any feeling like that. But I think it's more just like, not necessarily anxiety. It's just like I'm impatient. So sometimes I'm just like,
you just want to get it done, right?
Backstage, because I'm just like, I just want to fucking go on and do it. Because it's just you have so much energy.
For sure.
Yeah.
And but once you get up there, sometimes there's that thing where you like, I've been doing it for 11 years. So sometimes there's that thing where I'm just like, oh shit, what if I like forget my shit? Like, especially now during the pandemic, where there's just been a gap of time where you haven't done anything. And there have been a couple shows where I'm just like, what the fuck am I gonna, like, I know what I want to talk about, but sometimes I'm just like, what if I fucking forget this shit? And then, no, when you get up on stage, everything just falls back into place.
Rise to the occasion always.
Yeah. It's like riding a bike. You don't forget. So
dude, if I was to get on the bike right now, it would feel really weird. It's been a hot minute since I got on a bike.
I was on a bike earlier. No, it actually was the fall of last year on a music video shoot, and I don't have a taint anymore. It's gone.
Yeah.
I left it on that seat.
Gone.
And I started taking a cycling class.
Yeah.
That shit. The first time I did it, I'm telling you, it's just air down there.
Yeah.
It's horrible. I had to buy like a seat cushion. But
that's all you hear.
I need the one with the thick ass tires, bro. If I'm riding a bike, I need one with the literally car tires, bro.
Oh, you need a mountain bike.
Yeah, I need a mountain bike. I need a
just for the road. Just for the road.
Yeah.
Some of those are too fucking high.
Oh man.
Like I can't put my feet on the ground.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I remember back in the day when low riders were cool.
Low
that
rider
shit?
bikes, bro.
Like,
BMX bikes?
No, like
No.
a low rider, like a actual like
the Cali style, like
Cali
low rider bikes.
the The fucking handlebars up here and the twisted.
The frame was twisted. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Very elegant.
This was like at least in the Mexican community, it was like really big for like a moment, right?
It was,
and it kind of it came from Cali, but it trickled down
late
to
90s, early 2000s, right?
early 2000s, yeah.
Yeah.
And
with the 3-seater with the subs in the back with the speakers.
Yeah, but those bikes had like a fat ass seat. So it was fat, long, and it was comfy.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's why when people say when they ride on motorcycles and they have the choppers, like supposedly like even though it looks stupid, because your hands are up here,
it's comfortable.
but supposedly it's like it's more comfortable. Yeah, more comfortable than the traditional like street bike or something.
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially the crotch rockers were just like
Yeah,
slashed
crotch
down the whole
rockets,
time, dude.
Don't die. You ever been on a motorcycle?
I've been on one.
You been on one?
And I was on the back, just like holding
For
dear
I
life.
hate that shit.
I can't do that, dude.
I don't like that at all.
Can't do it.
Because you, first of all, you're like holding on, so you're like you can't like fucking look to see where you're going.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
just like
And then like even when you drive a car, when you're looking at scenery, and for like a split second you're looking, and then next thing you know like the car in front of you is already stopped.
Yep.
I think I don't even think I'm alive anymore. I think I'm just in some like
simulation.
I feel like I've looked down at my phone for so long while I'm driving. I'm just like, am I alive anymore?
Dude, we had this conversation with Deanna.
Yeah.
We didn't. It wasn't on the podcast, but right before the podcast started, we were saying that not all the time, but every once in a while, watch a little bit of Netflix while I'm driving.
Yeah. Especially long drives, Netflix.
Oh, I read.
Yeah, you read it.
Damn, dude, you took a whole new level. One thing is watching the, say a video or a music video or.
Oh, you mean like an actual
episode?
book? Like you grab a book and you flip the page?
No,
or?
I'm not some asshole.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let me read. No, I'm just reading an article or something. I've been into stocks lately, or sometimes I'm just like reading random shit.
I saw that too. I saw you're a stock man as well.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
Turned $4,000 into $12K.
Okay. AMC to the moon.
Did you invest?
AMC, GME, and then a bunch of like.
Yeah. Did you
get
GME
Nice.
when it was like early or?
I bought GME different times. I think the lowest I bought it was like 55 or 60.
Okay, not bad.
And right now it's like three something. Right
GME is back up there again.
The highest today.
It has stayed. It stayed consistent.
The highest today was 344.
344.
Just that one day, dude. Just that one day and Reddit.
AMC though is what's making me the most money.
Yeah.
Yeah, AC's. I mean, it's at what 55 right now. I think last time I checked.
Yeah,
Yes.
55. Yeah, I got it too. I bought it pre-COVID.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, actually, post-COVID.
Post-COVID. No, yeah, you did a little bit.
So that was
pre-COVID.
at like $10, $12, right?
Yeah, I got it for like $5 originally. Yeah, I didn't buy a lot though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I have 100 shares.
You have 100 shares.
Nice,
Oh, okay.
nice,
So that's where
nice,
it's at.
Which is decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You bought some more.
And I bought some more.
A couple months. No, was it a couple months ago?
Yeah, a couple months ago. But it was
After GME went up.
Yeah.
Exploded.
But I was watching because the same thing, man. I do stocks and all that stuff, and I watch the YouTube guys, the ones that speak about it and all that stuff. And
yeah, I don't like that shit.
You don't like it?
I started doing that in 2018 when I was lost as fuck, just depressed as shit. Just one of the worst years I've ever had. Just so much shit was going on. And I just started watching like these fucking 20, 21-year-old white guys just like, oh, I just day trade and stuff. Blah, blah, blah.
Right. Drive Lambos. Yep. Hottest chicks ever.
What they don't tell you is that they already come from money.
Yep.
Yeah, the majority of those people do.
I was just like, suck a dick. So I would watch those videos like, that's going to be me. And it's just, no, man. I just, like, recently in January, I, put money into a bunch of shit and then...
Little stimmy check.
Yeah. And then I started reading more. I think that's the key to this shit is to read more. You can listen to as many podcasts or watch as many videos as you want, but the knowledge in books, like I have 5 books about the stock market alone. So I just read.
Well, Well, I mean, the smart thing is to know what the companies that you're investing in.
Yeah.
Right. Because you got to know like what are their plans. So what are their plans? Because I mean, like I go the dividend route. You know what I mean? I'm long term.
Oh, yeah.
I'm more long term than the short squeeze.
Yeah.
But I mean, like for example, like AT&T, right? It was one of the best like dividend companies that you can invest in. And they recently cut their dividend.
Really?
So they were given, it was like I want to say it was 203 yearly, divided in 4 payments. And now they bought a company and they had to cut the stock to make up the money that they invested in this company. So they dropped it down to like $1.60 a year now. which still isn't terrible, but it's not $2.03. $2.03 adds up quickly, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But that's one of those things like you might know about it, but that's all within the company. You know what I mean? You don't know what the fuck they're gonna do.
Because for you, when you say you read how the stock market is supposed to move. Like when it goes up, you gotta watch this dip, buy, and certain movements of the market, right?
We could study charts from a year ago to see where things are at now and compare that way. But I have like my own sources where I can like look up expert analysis and stuff like that. But again, the more or like the better route for any of this shit is to just gain as much knowledge as you can and just read.
Okay.
Read before you start throwing money at something you don't know anything about.
Yeah, no, for sure, definitely, man.
How about
definitely.
crypto? Any crypto?
I tried Bitcoin and Doge. I sold
Dogecoin.
Bitcoin. I think I made like $100-something from it.
Okay.
Doge is stupid because if you had invested $1,000 in January and cashed out in like mid-March, you would have had enough to buy a Tesla, which is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
But also, I think I started with Doge in like February and was going to sell it after I made like $40, $50, and I kept waiting for it to reach a certain point. I swear to God, I was going to sell it. I was going to make $70, and I was in my car just, because it's really shitty parking in my area, and somebody I hadn't seen in a while just passed by my car, and we started talking, and then it went back down like $10, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And so I just stopped with Doge, and I just gave up on it. And then I saw how, like, every time I would get out, it would go up again. And I'm just like, well, fuck this
Elon
shit.
Musk talks about it or some shit, you know what I'm saying?
So,
or the whole SNL, Elon Musk, Dodge went up so high, all of a sudden, before the episode even started, it fucking just crashed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can't. It's too risky. I mean, the whole reason why that shit, Dogecoin was invented was just to buy porn and illegal drugs online.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that was Bitcoin.
Well, that was Bitcoin too.
Back in 2012.
This guy had Bitcoin when it first came out.
Wow.
But when it first, he was, and I remember we were in high school. I think it was like
No,
right after high school.
We're
Right
in,
after high school.
No, we're in sophomore year of college.
Sophomore
This
year,
was
yeah.
2012?
2012.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
I wish
he was,
I had known about
Dude,
this
I'm
shit.
talking about $36 for a fucking coin.
yeah.
At the time.
And this guy told me about it.
Yeah,
I remember him
dude.
telling, and he's trying to explain to me, right? He's like, yeah, man. I remember like now the analogy you used. You were like, imagine if like I bought a pizza, right? And the pizza guy comes and he's like, hey, man, here's a pizza. You're like, hey, I don't have money, but I can give you 4 Bitcoins for this pizza. And now that, that those 4 Bitcoins is the value of a pizza. Right? 'Cause that's what it was like.
Which is like $12.
And that's how you broke it down to me. And I was like, hey, I don't believe fake make believe, man. Unless it's real money, I don't want to talk about it.
Why are you trying to replace what we already have?
Yeah.
Exactly. No, for sure. No, definitely.
So I gave him so much shit about it, man. So much fucking shit about it. And then, you had it for a while, and then
Now
I sold.
How many did you have?
Oh, I had 6 at the time.
6 Bitcoin?
Yeah, 6 Bitcoin.
You would have
6
been
whole
able to pay
Bitcoin.
off your college and some.
Yeah,
dude,
right?
that dude would have been fine. You
would've-
wouldn't be doing this podcast right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll be in
on
Mexico,
he'd be
bro.
on radio. So
Yeah. Accent, no, we're going up. Accent
Yeah,
pound.
excellent, yeah.
But station and everything.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
man,
sadly
yeah.
he sold it before.
Of course, it's one of those things. Like, I mean, I believed in it. I still made some money. I made like $150, $200, whatever profit. For me, it's a learning experience, like anything else.
Yeah.
But I mean, all these years, I've seen it go up, crash, go up, crash, go up, crash. So it's just a constant. Oh, it's always going up, always crashing, man. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But if you want to do it, you got to take the risk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't you like? For me, man, when I see those Instagram posts or those memes or whatever, like, hey, if you had invested $1,000 on Apple right now, you would be a millionaire. It's like, motherfucker, that was 50 years ago. You know, like, don't become these make believe scenarios.
Well, that's
you know
part
what
of
I'm
the research that I do is to try to try and figure
I mean,
out what the next Apple
history does repeat itself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? History does repeat itself. That is damn true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, that's something. Like, history
Hitler's
especially
comeback?
when it comes down to that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like you said before, you read old charts, you kind of see where we're at.
No,
now.
for sure. Yeah, definitely. But before this becomes a finance podcast,
Guys, get a Roth IRA and do it now.
We are.
right?
Yeah.
Hey man, give some bonds. No,
What's the one? Moon coin or space coin or some?
I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
The only one I know is Bitcoin and Dogecoin.
Doge, yeah.
And Ethereum, or what is it? Ethereum, yeah.
That one's special one. I know that's special because that one has to do with like the actual internet for some
really?
reason. Yeah. So I gotta do more research on that. You know. Yeah.
But let's get back to our guests. You know what I mean? Before we start making deals and we start
Yeah, right.
you
Selling
know,
shares.
yeah, selling shares. So 11 years, man, doing comedy, dude.
Yeah.
A very long time. Very long time. Do you feel like you have to leave Chicago in order to make it in stand-up? Or how do you feel about that?
Originally, I thought no.
Yeah.
Just because I'm stubborn and I'm born and raised in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there has been a lot of work that's been put in by a lot of different people in the scene to make Chicago
Better?
a destination
Yeah.
for people to come here and not look at it as a stepping stone, but more so as a landing spot.
Yeah.
Like, for example, one of the best examples to go by is Austin, Texas. No one would think that that's a huge
Yeah.
comedy powerhouse, but
And-
ever since
yeah.
Rogan and all these
Yep.
people moved
Yep.
there
Yep.
because of LA closing, do I think it's going to take over LA? Not at all. LA is going to go back to the way things were when shit goes back to the way things were.
But
It's going to take longer.
But it'll be top 3.
Austin?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And here, at least in this country. Because you think about New York, always number 1, right?
Yeah.
California, number 2.
Yeah.
And then who's after that? Seattle? Portland? You know what I mean? Like
Portland's
Nashville?
great. But I like Austin. I've
Yeah.
performed in Austin. And they have like 7 clubs now.
Yeah.
7.
Oh, shit.
I mean, 2 or 3 are on their way. One of them is Rogan's. And then you got one that left New York and opened up in Austin. So, you know, for Chicago, I think we're lucky because we have so many open mics every night. There's always new showcases popping up. But do I think you have to leave? That's up to the individual. For me, I'm 27. Like, my 20s are coming to an end.
Yeah.
So there's kind of that, like, well, if I don't do it now, then when am I going to do it?
Yeah.
For sure.
At first, like, I never thought I would because I hate LA.
Yeah.
New York is chill. But, like, having the prospects that I've had or having the attention that I've gotten from certain people in LA in, like, those positions to, like, make or break a person, I feel like I'd be stupid not to go, after that shit.
Yeah.
And I've had talks with managers in LA about how, like, do I have to move? Everybody says something different. Some say yes, some say no. Some say, why leave Chicago, where that is where, it allows you to work on new shit. You already know the city. You already know the people. But that's not to stop you from touring and going and meeting other people in other places. But if you want to be closer to entertainment and all that stuff, yeah, go to LA. If you want to work specifically on stand-up, if you want to become the best, purest stand-up that you can be, you go to New York. People do 3-4 shows in a night just because of how much shit is going on. In LA, everything's spread out. But again, LA, you're closer to the film companies. There's TV in New York too, but it's just, it depends on what you want.
Yeah.
For me, I would love to be in movies one day. I like voiceover. I like to write. I like to sing. So I think LA naturally would be a better transition for me. Although I think I would flourish in New York. It would just, I would have to pivot away from, like, because, like, for me, the way I describe myself is, performer, entertainer, and then comedian. So I think I would have to go to New York and switch that. Whereas in LA,
well, makes sense.
You can do whatever. You can mix it up every time. But, I would want to make it in LA first so that the transition to New York wouldn't be as difficult.
So the plan will still be go to New York, even though you want to go to Cali first?
I want to live in Chicago for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But if I have to go to LA to do stuff or to establish relationships or connections, then I'll go to LA first. If I have to spend time in New York, I will. But I'm not opposed to going there to perform every once in a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I thought I was going to stay in Chicago the rest of my life and go to LA like once a month. But financially, it just doesn't make any sense. I'd rather just go all out. Like, I need to eat shit for a while. I need to. I need life to.
Because you do kind of start over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've been there a bunch of times to know enough people.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of ins in a lot of places. So it's just a matter of going there and establishing a rapport.
Have you had comics that you came up with? I'm assuming you've had, but that have gone to California?
Yeah, oh yeah. I have people that I've known or worked with or that I'm still close to that have ended up working on TV shows as writers or they're just doing stand-up. So yeah, there's a lot of that. I mean, Chicago makes killers. Chicago makes, we're hard-ass workers, so it's no surprise that I've known a lot of people who have gone to either coast and do amazing things. So
isn't it though a little disappointing though that Chicago's not higher up there when it comes to that? I mean, being such a big city,
but through whose eyes?
To the comedy eyes. I mean, comedy scene eyes. Because I mean, like people, you said people start in Chicago, right? But like depending on what you want to do, right? Like you said, do you want to be movies? You want to be just straight up comic? But I mean, for just being such a big city, and I know Chicago's always been known as an improv town, right? Because a lot of the improv people, like all the SNL guys, a lot of them go through Chicago to get to SNL, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, like I don't know. For me, I love, like I said, I love Chicago. For me, it's the best city. I love everything. I love the shootings. Now I'm kidding, but everything about the city is great. So, I wish it was more like that. I wish like the stand up scene was more like that.
I don't think we need anybody else to take us seriously as long as we take ourselves seriously. That mentality is what keeps Chicago somewhat of a like a best kept secret or something. But I don't think it matters because whatever city you end up in or whatever city you start in, you get what you put in. So it's just like it doesn't really matter. I like I said, I want to raise a family in Chicago and live the rest of my life in Chicago. But again, if I have to go to one of these cities to get work or to do more work, then, it's just work. I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not gonna stop myself from doing that. So.
Yeah.
And, it's like go where the opportunities are, but a lot of people, what they should be saying is create the opportunities that you want.
Well, that's what we say, because that's our mindset when it comes to the whole thing. Because we're like, why leave when you can make, Chicago a mecca for comedy, right? Yeah. Like, make it like, hey, you don't have to fucking leave. You don't have to go to L.A. You don't have to go to Austin or New York or whatever the case is. Like, come here, and you can make good money, right? You can, build a following, start touring the country. Yeah. And then, like, be,
You're going to go to L.A., New York, and Austin.
Well, I've gotten the attention from these managers just by staying in Chicago. Yeah. So I'm obviously doing something right.
Definitely, yeah.
But again, you want to go closer to whatever it is that you want to achieve. So for me, I would love to do movies and all that other stuff. So L.A., it's just such a natural transition for me.
Yeah. Have you thought about doing SNL? Is that something that's in your...
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm
some of the tapes?
I know people on SNL, some writers. I'm cool with Chris Redd.
Yeah.
And just, it's one of those things that I think when I was younger, Mad TV would have been the thing.
Oh, Mad TV was a bomb. Dude, Mad TV over SNL back in the days.
Yeah.
Incredibly, it was way more diverse and it was just at times funnier. But I mean, would I like to be a part of that history and whatnot? Yes. Would it break my heart if I don't get to be a part of that? No.
Yeah.
Because so many people that are hilarious or are great in stand-up and film and TV had auditioned for SNL and didn't get in.
Oh, yeah. Jim Carrey.
Donald Glover. Louis C.K. was
Kevin
trying to
Hart.
be a writer there.
Kevin Hart. Same thing.
Yeah, so it's just like, you know, you can't let one thing be it for you. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I think it would mean more to me to host SNL than to be on SNL.
Be on it, yeah.
But I mean, either or. I mean, I'm fine. It's one of those things that is always, I've had a lot of people that I've worked with that have been closely associated with SNL that have said nice things like, you are ready or you are the kind of person that they would enjoy having on that show just because of, being able to sing, dance, write. I like to do impressions sometimes. But I think if you give me enough time to work on something, I'm one of those people where, I won't say no to anything.
Yeah.
So
we didn't say no to us, so.
Yeah.
And we're just a little old podcast, man. But yeah, so right now you're getting back in the swing, right? All the clubs are opening up again.
Yeah.
Shows are opening up
Life's
again.
coming back to normal.
Life's coming back to normal.
Yeah.
Was it hard that whole year off?
Well, I mean, honestly, I was supposed to do a tour in 2020. It was supposed to be my first mini. It was like my first mini headlining tour. Mm-hmm. I was just going to do a bunch of random theaters and joints around the country in some of my favorite spots in the country. And I already had deals in the making with like certain festivals to just have me like rent out a theater or some shit and do an hour everywhere I would go. And we only did like, I want to say, did one stop in Janesville, Wisconsin. That was a sold out show. It was like 100 people, small, intimate theater. Then we did Libertyville, Illinois, which is where I work right now. That was sold out as well. I think we had like 80 people in there. Small theaters.
Yeah.
And then we did, I want to say we did 3 or 4 shows in Detroit. And then,
like back to back or like?
Yeah, Friday, Saturday.
Oh,
Sunday.
damn.
And then everything stopped.
Yeah.
And
heartbreaking.
That March, I think late March, right? It was
late March, yeah.
And I remember doing the show in Wisconsin, and we used the mask as a prop. You know, I went up there and just pretended to wear it for a good, minute, and then I took it off.
Yeah.
And this was a time when we were driving. I'm never gonna forget that drive because it was me and my piano player. So I do this show on the road. Well, the show that I was going to take was that it was going to be half prepared stand-up and the other half is improvised stand-up, where I improvise. It's a crowd work show where I talk to someone in the crowd and then we create a song on the spot based off of what we just talked about, which is my special, which is available now at JasonAvocado.com.
Yeah. Hey, you know how to use a camera. That's good.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, well, there's been camera here the whole time.
But yeah, so we did that show, and I remember, like I said, the drive there was crazy because my friend Sharoop Kareem, who is a great comedian,
great name,
usually opens for me.
Sharoop Kareem,
but a great comedian in his own right, very smart, writes for The Onion. I just remember we were like, it's like we don't know what it is, but we'll be fine. It's not gonna be something that we can't get over. It's not going to be something crazy.
Yes.
And then
the last couple of weeks, right?
Everything just started shutting down, and that was the most privileged ride along. That we were just so confident that nothing.
All of us.
Huge was going to happen.
All of us were in that.
We all just thought, oh, this is going to blow over, and it sucks because I got invited. Because I got invited to a festival. You can't submit. You have to be invited.
Which one?
It's called the Lucille Ball Comedy Festival in Jamestown, New York, which is one of the oldest festivals in the country, and it takes place in Jamestown, New York. They have a thing called the National Comedy Institute, which is a congressionally funded museum dedicated to the history of comedy.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they've had huge people at this festival in the past. Since its inception, they've had anybody you could think of in comedy has performed there. And they were going to have, I think, my year they were going to have a bunch of SNL people come through, alums, SNL alums. They've had Trevor Noah and a bunch of. It's just a huge fucking festival, and they only handpick 20, 30 comics from the country.
Oh wow!
To do showcases, and I was one of those people. They saw the producer of that festival and overseas operations at the museum saw me at a show at Laugh Factory and came up to me after the show and was like, yeah, I want you on this festival. They had me sign a contract. They were going to put me up at a hotel. They were going to pay me.
Yep.
And then they were going to be like, this is going to happen in 2020, August. And then everything shut the fuck off. And then I reached out again to them, or they reached back out to me. They're like, we're going to reschedule for 2021. I hit them back up a couple months ago. They're like, we're rescheduling it again to 2022.
Oh, wow.
Because they expect 60,000 people from all over the country to come out.
Yeah, that's tough.
Dude.
So
that's tough.
It sucks, but I mean, it's one of those things where it's you overcome whatever hardship is thrown at you, whatever.
Keep grinding.
That's what I spent this quarantine doing. It wasn't hard. I think the first month or so was what am I going to do? I don't want to file for unemployment because it's so fucking complicated. And it's also, I was just I'd rather
true.
The Latino in me was I'd just fucking rather
exactly.
work. And I started working for Amazon, and that shit was horrible.
I've heard,
I only lasted 3 months. I could not.
3 months, long 3 months, bro.
It is. And every day I would say the same thing to myself, you just need to be funnier than this. But then I also reminded myself, yes, that's a good thing, but it also doesn't matter because this isn't your fault. You're not, this is a universal thing. You can't get upset at things that you can't control.
Exactly. Yep.
So throughout my time at Amazon, after that, after I quit, I went back to teaching again because I teach improv and stand-up to kids.
Okay.
So we started out on Zoom, and then we went back to in-person in the summer, and I'm the head camp counselor for our improv camp. So I started doing that again. But the thing that really helped me get through 2020 was, again, meditation, reading. Reading really calmed me down, especially during like all the looting and all the protests and all that stuff.
Were you close to that when that was going on?
Well, I mean, we're not far. I mean, I'm on the northwest side of Chicago,
okay.
Which, there a lot of that stuff was happening everywhere, but mostly downtown.
Yeah.
But for me, I just started reading more, meditating more, and I think 2020 for me was the year of just creating and sustaining and building healthier habits.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think meditation, yoga, reading. So just those three things is what got me stronger mentally and physically in some ways. And that's definitely, those three things are what got me through 2020. And to this day, I think I'm on my 83rd day in a row meditating. I got to pick it back up with the yoga, but I have been reading like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you read? Just a little bit of everything?
I read like a lot of self-help books. My favorite book that I finished, that I think I definitely credit with giving me the confidence, because I don't lack confidence, but for this specific situation of moving to LA, this was the book that actually made me realize
little boost,
that I should do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was like the literary espresso that I needed to just fucking...
You know what? I thought that was the name of the book.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's a name. That's a good name.
That's actually my book that's coming out. But yeah, it was enough to make me believe that, now is the time to, get up off your ass. Because I'm usually that person to light a fire under someone's ass.
Yeah.
I feel you on that.
But I feel like my ass is always on fire. So it's just like I'm ready to do shit. Mm-hmm. But this was like... reading that book in 3 months was just like enough for me to realize that, you know what, it's like one of my good friends who's a comic, he lives in Florida now, he told me, you should rather think this way, where it's like, instead of regretting not doing something, like do something and then regret it later, instead of regretting not doing it at all.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Give it a shot. Take a risk.
So yeah, that's all it is. I think it's that book helped out a lot, and I've been reading a lot of Malcolm Gladwell. He's the one that wrote like the 10,000 Hours book. Outliers.
Yeah. You need to do 10,000 hours of something to be good at it.
Right. And I've been reading some of his other books and stuff like that, and and also like a lot of poetry, self-love type shit, and I'm trying to build this. This is a muscle that people do not build.
Yeah.
They care about this shit outside, and they don't fucking pay attention to this. Because you could be the strongest person, outside, but you could be weak as a motherfucker in here and in here. So a lot of people, that's what I've been really focusing on, is that I know what I can do comedically, artistically, and all those things, but I need to be a stronger person mentally. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's key, dude. I mean, I've met a lot of buff dumb dudes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys that can, squat and,
the bench, all that good stuff.
All that good stuff. But, you give them 1 + 1. They're like, hey, can I get a calculator? Can a brother get a calculator?
You don't even have to ask that anymore. You just have to ask them, are you happy? Yeah. And you get a different response from everybody.
Yeah.
Like, are you really happy? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Or just content.
I think what scares you and you haven't worked on.
Yeah, I think a lot of people I think the majority of people are sad.
Oh, yeah.
The majority. You know what I mean? There's a lot of sad. And you can tell, like, I always say, like, the people who post about their relationships on Facebook, on Instagram, and all that case, those couples are usually miserable.
Yeah.
Usually miserable.
Going downhill.
You know what I mean? Like, most happy couples, they're not going out of the way, like, hey, we got to post something on Snapchat about how much
they don't care about it.
How much I love you.
If you were having a good time, would you really be posting about it?
No.
I got time for that.
I mean, like,
I think you're just letting people know that it is okay.
Yeah.
You have to let people know that it is okay so that you think it's okay.
Yeah.
But,
like, if my girl was to, like, put up something on Facebook and she's like, Ramon's the best boyfriend you can ever be, I'd be like, oh, we breaking up? Is that what's going on? What's going on here? We breaking up because
That's a warning.
That's a warning. That's like, oh, things are going terribly, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but fucking some people love that, man. That fake social media happiness, man.
Well, yeah, that's what it is. There's a lot of people. A lot of the reason why a lot of people are so sad because they get into a compare contrast mode.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, that person has this, but it's so easy to
Lie.
artificially come up with an experience or a moment on Instagram. Because how do you know that if someone took a picture of themselves at a beach, like, oh, I'm in Mexico or whatever the fuck, I'm in Cancun, but it's like, are you happy just during that picture and the rest of the trip is shit?
Yeah.
Are you actually there with people that you like? You don't know. There's so many questions.
Exactly. Yeah.
Here's the thing. A lot of people on trips are on their goddamn phone.
Oh, well, dude.
Recording everything. I'm like,
trips are one thing, but even when you sit in a group with people to have food with, like let's say you're meeting some friends to have food with, right? And they're like, hey, put your fucking phone away.
Yeah.
Put your phone away.
That's what I learned when I toured in Paris is that it's rude to even have your phone on the table.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's because this is time for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I try not to have my phone anywhere near me when I'm eating with someone.
Yeah, me too. Like
It's rude.
It's rude. It's rude, and it's like live in the fucking moment. Live in a moment.
Well, that's why I don't like Snapchat because I don't want to see the moments of your day. I want to see the best moment, which is on Instagram.
The best moment. Yeah.
Like you don't have to tell me every
Right.
fucking thing that you do. I don't really
Yeah.
give a shit. I really don't.
Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes because we all have those moments. You find yourself doing that shit, and next thing you know, I'm fucking taking a picture of my hamburger. I'm gonna eat the fucking hamburger.
Yeah. I don't give a
Hey,
damn.
everybody's eating the hamburger.
Oh, no, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it's
Like
not
me with my diet. It's like, dude, you're eating pizza again. Like, you already know what it tastes like.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah,
same
yeah.
thing with Instagram. You already know what this looks
You already
like.
know, yeah,
Why am I
exactly.
showing you?
exactly. Like, show me something I haven't seen. Like a kangaroo get punched by a guy. All right, now I'm watching.
I've seen that.
I know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, that girl that pushed the bear.
Oh,
off the,
yeah. That's pretty cool.
You know what I mean?
Damn.
I was
don't
like,
think it was in Oregon, no?
I don't know, but I was like, I mean, let the dog die.
Damn.
Let him die. Let him die. I ain't
Little
risking.
Sparky, bro? Little Sparky?
Hey, Sparky 2 at the shelter right now.
The dog died.
Yeah.
What video are you watching?
You know what I'm
This
talking
is the
about?
video where their bear is climbing over the wall.
The-
The dogs are barking at it.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
I guess it wasn't, it was a cub.
Yeah,
So it
well,
wasn't even
it was
a
a
big bear
bear
like that.
with his cub, and they
Yeah.
were going over like a cement fence, right?
Yeah.
A brick fence, and there's some little dogs barking at it.
Barking,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? And the bear swiped at one of the dogs, and this teenage girl.
Was it a teenage girl?
Yeah, she was like 17. She
Damn.
comes and she pushes the bear off the.
Damn.
Yeah. And then the bear
yeah.
climbs back over. You know what I mean? And she's like, she goes back and grabs the dog.
And he's like pissed, the cub?
No, it was the mom bear.
It wasn't
Oh,
the
It
actual
was a big
mom
bear. Yeah, it was, and it was a brown bear too, like the most dangerous
Dangerous
bears.
bear.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was
That's
like,
some balls. That's
Yeah.
some balls, dude.
but see, I don't.
That could have gone wrong in
You know,
all
there's,
100 different
there's
ways.
very few things in this world I would do that for. You know what I'm saying? Very few things. An animal. I'm sorry, man.
Circle life.
Circle life. Hey,
I like the videos where like a white kid gets stuck in like a gorilla's habitat in some zoo.
I know, but then I feel bad for the gorilla because he killed it.
Are you talking about Harambe?
Yeah, but you're talking about a dog over a white kid. I'm saving the dog.
Oh no! Well, I'm saving the. I know. I'm like save the gorilla.
Fuck
Yeah, that's a gorilla.
No, I'm like put the kid down. You know what I'm saying? He fell in there. He earned it. You know what I'm saying? Circle life. Circle life. you know?
Circle life, yeah.
This was real life. You dying. You dying. Right?
Oh, man.
No, man. I have a unhealthy relationship with fight videos.
Fight videos?
Fight video, like the street fight videos, like those
Oh,
random
Have you
fights.
ever been in a fight?
When I was a kid.
Never
Yeah.
been in a fight.
Never been in a fight. You never
I've
been
had
punched?
People threatened to kick my ass, but then after like a discussion, we were just like,
You guys discuss?
Disgusting.
What?
You're a disgusting kind of guy.
because I think if you get mad at me, there's something wrong with you.
Oh wait, of course.
Because a lot of people, why the fuck are you mad at Jason? He doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
The only thing he attacks is his lunch. Like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with you?
Yeah. Also, this was back in school, back when you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had run-ins, and you know.
Have you ever deserved an ass whooping?
Have I ever deserved an
Yeah.
asshole thing?
Like when you're like, I was kind of being an asshole. I should have been put in my place.
No, I've done the thing where people are mad, they've had a shitty day, and then they take it out on me.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And then the next day they're like, listen, man, I was having a bad day. I didn't
See,
mean to take it out on you.
that
Because they
shit-
know I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah, that shit annoys me. Cause I'm like, hey, like we all have bad days.
Yeah.
That excuse. I'm like, hey, I'm having a bad day. sorry for acting like an asshole.
But I'm not your punching bag.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm trying to say.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. I've
yeah.
done that for a lot of my life.
But a lot of people like they think that's a legitimate excuse to be a mean person.
But then people get mad at me. It's like, why you always got to make yourself the victim? I'm like, well, why are you always yelling at me?
Yeah. You hit me, man.
Go again. It's like, I didn't do anything.
You ever had you say you do crowd work.
Yeah.
Have you ever had like a bad experience with like somebody like hey man, like stop making fun of me. I'm gonna.
I think the weirdest thing I've ever encountered was I did a show in Waukegan, Illinois.
Sounds right. Sounds about right.
And I've had like maybe 2 or 3 like crazy fans.
Yeah.
They're just like weird. And who knows? She probably might be watching this. And if you decide to drop this snippet, by all means,
Go ahead, man. I'm already cutting the time frame.
Yeah.
I asked her. I was like, so what brought you to the show? Like, did you know me before the show? And she was like, oh, I saw you post about it. I started following you, and I saw that you were going to be here, blah, blah, blah. And then she kind of was, like, leaning towards the idea of, like, you kind of look like my ex-fiance.
Oh.
And I was just like, okay.
Hot.
And I was like, well,
I like where it's going.
I was like, well, what happened? Why the ex? What happened? And he was like, oh, well, he died.
Oh, okay.
Like, okay.
Replacement.
Great. And this was
Sparky
like,
too,
we're 15 minutes in. Wonderful.
Full circle.
And it was, oof. It just was like, well, thanks for coming. Thanks for the money. But it was also just like, I didn't really, that threw me off guard, but I kept going. And then after the show, she was with her younger sister, and we were like, do you want to go, to a diner with a bunch of assholes, me and a couple other comedians? And I could just tell from her face that she did not like that experience, because it was just because we talk a lot of shit.
Of course.
And we a lot of fucked up things that we say. We all know we're joking, and if someone on the outside's like, what the fuck is...
Yeah.
So, yeah. It just, it wasn't... and I don't want to say anymore because I don't want to hurt her feelings.
Yeah.
But,
She's fucking crazy.
also, like the whole time, I was like, how did he die?
Did you stab him?
Yeah. You killed him.
What did you do? What did you do?
She feels guilty, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did you do that night shake?
Are you going to do it to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, it was fucked up. So...
Well, she must have loved that guy because she paid money to go see you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to go see him because he reminds me of him.
Yeah. That's
you're not even seeing me for me. You're just seeing me because you see him.
Yeah.
Ricardo. Like, what?
Yo.
You call him Ricardo. Man.
Jesus.
Oh, that would be awkward, dude.
You have to be in some type of mindset to even just like drop that type of knowledge.
Well,
especially in a comedy show, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you would think,
private be one thing,
yeah.
but you're letting the whole room know, like, oh.
Yeah.
And from there, you just set it up. You're just like, okay.
Yeah, because you like people don't understand. Like, hey, you can say shit that is creepy. Like you don't talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, my mom died last week. It's like, oh, thanks for coming to the show, man. That had nothing to do with this. Had nothing to do with this conversation. I came up to you to shake your hand and say, hey, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
You're like, hey man, I'm sorry, my mom died last week.
Well, one of the coolest things that's ever happened was there was a show where I didn't really think I had a good set, but we had a woman come up to us after the show, and she was just like, oh my god, this was great. One of the best shows I've ever seen. I was like, well, okay, I beg to differ.
Yeah.
Sure. And she was like, I only have like a couple weeks to live. I shit you not.
Wow.
And then the booker of that show let us know that she died, and like one of her last favorite memories was with us, and we had a picture with her. I'm like, this is intense.
Older lady or?
And maybe in her 50s. She just
not
had
that
some
old.
life-ending
Not that old,
disease, and that shit was insane. But
did it make you feel like like I did something good, like we enjoyed our time, I guess? I don't know how to put it. Like,
well, it just makes you
know what I'm saying?
realize you just shouldn't take this shit for granted. We're on borrowed time. Like, I hate when people at the end of the year were like, you know what, that's the end of 2021, and now it's next year's going to be my year. It's like, how do you know that? How do you know that you're going to have that time?
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm going to get started on this shit next year. It's
Yeah.
like, but how do you know you have that next year?
Might as well do it now.
Crazy story. Right before the podcast, we have a friend that comes and he'll do audio for us when he can, right? That's why we have an empty desk over there in the corner. But Yeah, just a couple nights ago. It was like literally like 2 nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
I had a dream that he's a close friend of mine, of ours, and I had a dream that he had died.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was telling Gamal, I was like, hey man, I saw his ghost at Walmart. It was a random dream, right? Like Walmart, he had died from like some disease, but he never told us about it. Like something he kept hidden, and then he just passed away from it, right? Mm-hmm. And then so he calls us today, right before you got here, and we're just talking, and I'm like, hey man, before you go, I just want to let you know I had a dream that you died a couple nights ago. He's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, dude, I had a dream that I died. Just like last night. And I was like, what?
Yep.
we were like, what's going on? And because you were telling me, he's like, yeah, he just popped the...
Yeah, he popped a blood vessel in his eye.
And then, so he tells me, and it reminds me of the story. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to go get some blood.
Yeah, blood test, yeah.
Yeah, blood test.
Yeah.
Because think about it. Like, how weird is that I had a dream of him passing away, and he has a dream of him passing away.
Start feeling for lumps.
Right?
Yeah,
dude, fuck, man.
dude. Testing boys out.
I'm like,
my grandparents died in November of this past year, 12 hours apart from each other.
Okay.
And I had a dream about my grandmother like a month later, and they were both in Colombia. So the dream that I had about my grandmother was, I would go to Colombia a lot as a kid every summer.
What part?
Medellin.
Medellin,
okay. Land of Pablo, but born and raised in Chicago. So one of the dream was just like how I would see my grandmother when she would come home, because she would work all day. She used to own and operate a small little corner store.
Okay, yeah.
So when she would come home, she would do the same thing. I'd either be at the TV watching TV, or I'd be in the dining room table just like reading or something, and or eating. And then she would come by and just take off all her jewelry, and she would just talk to me for a bit before she went to bed, and then she went to bed. And in the dream, she just said, it was such a short dream. It was just, she was taking all of her stuff, and I was just sitting there watching her, and she just goes, hey, did you get food yet? Because I would always, like, before I would leave Colombia, I would go to, like, one of the street carts, and I would get a huge thing, what's known as salchipapas, which is just cut up pieces of hot dog on a bed of fries, and they put a bunch of sauces on it.
Okay.
And they put like deviled eggs on there too, like hard-boiled eggs or whatever.
And you're making my boy hungry, man. Like,
yeah,
so
it's a good time. And I would always get this to celebrate leaving or whatever, or just going back home. And then my grandma was like, "So did you get the food yet? I heard you were gonna get food for yourself." And I was like, "No, not yet." And she was just like taking off her earrings, and she's like, "Well, whatever you do get, I want some, but I only want some if it's yours." And I was just like, okay. And that was it.
That was it.
So it was just a conversation. Like,
yeah.
It's crazy because, we weren't, that's something you don't hear of often is one person dying and then 12 hours later that other person dies. And it's like, my grandfather technically did not live a day without her.
Yeah, no, I mean, I work in a hospital, man, so it does happen quite a bit. We have patients, like, we've had patients where we have one in one floor, and we have one, like, on a different floor, because, I work in ICU, so I have the most intensive, patients. But, yeah, like, they'll find out, like, hey, like, your wife passed away. And they'll be like, all right, well, fuck it, I'm following. And it was literally that, man. They literally go, they just tell themselves, they're like, hey, you know what? Like, all right, well, I'm done, too.
This is a nice ride.
And they decide, and it's just, like, literally like that, dude.
That's crazy,
literally like that.
That's crazy.
Like, if I make it, if I'm lucky enough to make it to that age, right, where I'm an old man who gets to die, I want to go first. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to be alive and she's dead, because
sure.
I want to be that old man. I want to be like, all right, well,
yeah. I'd rather someone be upset about me.
Yeah. I want the easy road.
Selfish.
Yeah, I want the easy road. I just want to be up there like waiting and be like, oh yeah.
I want them to put my picture over the mantle.
Yeah.
And be like, damn,
you were so cool, man. But yeah, and I don't want to. Can you imagine how lonely that is, dude? Like my grandfather, he lived. It's becoming depressing as podcast.
Yeah.
And after this, we'll go into more stock
stock investments and finish it off with the cancer culture and talk politics. But no, my grandfather lived almost 2 years after my grandmother, but he was always depressed, and he regretted everything. Mexican machismo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's our culture, right? Especially back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he regretted everything. every wrong doing he ever did to my grandmother, you know, and it was just that's how his last 2 years worked. Years of regret, and it's one of those things where it's just like, you know, I saw that and I was like, man, I don't want to go through that. I don't want to go through that. You know what I'm saying?
It's pretty painful.
It is painful, extremely painful.
And we also found out too that apparently they've been doing this since they met. My grandma or like my grandfather he was always the cook in the family. My grandpa cooks like fucking fire ass food. So like what he would do was like they would eat the same way every time. He would eat his meal and then he would leave half for her. So then that's how they would eat. So yeah, he didn't get to do that again because like again 12 hours later he was just gone. And he went into sleep. And so did
peacefully. Oh,
yeah,
that's
so
awesome, man. That's the
they
best
were
way.
fine.
That's the best way, man.
But it's still crazy because, you know, tying it back around to comedy, my grandma had like one of the most like infectious laughs, and it's like on the Mount Rushmore for me of like laughs in my life that I've heard, where I was like, once I heard that laugh, I was always like, what can I do, you know, to keep hearing that over and over again.
Definitely. Well, did they pass before you started doing comedy, or was it after?
Did what?
Your grandparents?
No, they passed this past November.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so they were able to see you do comedy.
You know, that's the thing. They didn't really... I don't
Get
think
it?
they understood the concept of me doing comedy. When I went back home, they would just see me as just Jason, their grandson. So they really didn't... You know, I would try and explain it to them, but my grandma was always just like, you're just my grandson.
Yeah. But they're like, they pay you for that?
Yeah, exactly. They didn't understand that was a thing.
Yeah.
So... But all my cousins and everything in Colombia, they all know. Like every time they introduce me, this is my cousin, he's a comedian, blah blah blah. So there's always that pressure.
He's from Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Right. So
that's awesome, dude. You know, it's one of those things in life that we just all have to go through, right?
I mean, but I got to see them in what was it, 2019, before everything happened. Yeah. So I saw them 2 years in a row again. So yeah. I got to see a lot, and we learned a lot about them when they passed. So it was heavy for my mother. That was her parents. For sure. But, you know, thanks to technology, you know, we still have a bunch of videos of them laughing and, you know, having good times. So, you know, it's one of those things where, it's expected at that age, but just the way it happened, but... You know, you're happy that they lived long and healthy lives, so you couldn't have asked for anything better than that.
Oh, definitely, dude. I mean, like I said, working in the hospital, you see the alternative when people are just on life support for months, for weeks, for days, and family is just like, and you know, us as as the healthcare workers, we're like, look, man, this person's suffering. The only reason they're still around is because you're keeping them around. Yeah. But they're dead. Nothing's keeping them alive. You know, they're on a ventilator. I mean, nothing's working on their own. Like, literally, we're doing everything to keep them alive. And it's just suffering, dude. And you see that stuff. And I'm like, we always say that, hey, if you ever see me here, like, pull the plug. You know what I mean? Like, as courtesy. Like, don't let me go through this stuff. Because I know, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, and it's hard, right? It's hard to let people go, but it's the best way to do it, man, really. The natural way, just letting time take place. You know what I mean? When this guy has when I put him down for stage 2 diabetes, I'm outliving him. I know this for a fact. I mean, he has another good 12 years in him, and
we're working.
I'm gonna pull that plug on him. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Just lighten up a little bit, huh? Yeah. Before this guy starts crying, I saw tears start to trickle down his. He's like, I don't have a grandfather. You have your grandparents? Are they still around?
Yeah, still
all of them.
Both parents. Thank God. Yeah.
Don't talk to us.
Oh, fuck you.
Because you haven't felt the pain that we felt.
Yeah. I ain't trying to feel no pain, bro. Right. I'm not a big fan when it comes down to that shit.
You're not part of the SAG club, right?
Yeah, I'm not trying to feel that
I
shit.
had a dream last night about your grandparents.
Oh, fuck, dude.
He's like, yeah, man.
I give him a call.
He's like, who? He's like,
this is grandson. Mom? Who? Damn. All right, never mind.
Yeah.
I was dead to you guys first. All right.
Yeah, that's how they would go. That's how that conversation goes. Like, you still alive?
Yeah. Like, damn. Stage 2 diabetes didn't get you yet? Like, fucking
Is it
shit.
Christmas? Why are you calling?
Yeah. I'm a bother?
No. It's like, hey, I would love to talk, but, you know, fucking bingo night's going on.
Yeah.
I got la lotería, mejor dicho, right?
Lotería, bro.
But so what's the California? That's the future. What else? What else? Like, what is like something you want to get? The things you want to get done this year?
This year,
Yeah.
trying to finish up an ebook that I just want to release on my website. Just a collection of witty essays, statements, quotes, and stuff like that. Poems. Trying to film another hour at the end of the summer, like into the fall.
Nice.
Yeah.
Concept behind that show is, which is, you get an exclusive because I have not talked about this with anybody yet. But basically, it's, I won't give the title away yet, but the concept is I'm going to have 15 bits that have either been somewhat developed or not touched on at all. I've never worked on and I've never performed. So I'm going to get like 15 note cards, and then I'm going to give the audience the note cards, and they're going to get together, have a little congressional session, and they're going to make the set list for that show, and then I'll perform.
That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun.
Very intimate, like backyard bonfire type of thing, and they're the ones who decide how the show's going to go.
Wow. Like
Awesome.
That's
And how many tapings would you want to do for
One.
that? Just one.
taping?
One.
One tape.
Wow.
I don't got time for this shit, bro. I got to do one.
Yeah, they're one. The pool's about to come out.
And then, it's those two things, and then I think that's about it. I mean, I'm trying to do another tour again, or trying to continue the tour that I had in the fall. Probably do like 5 cities, and then just come back. And so, yeah, it's more so just a comeback tour.
Comeback tour.
Just like it's really just preparing for 2022. And then just to see if I can go again on the road ever. Because in 2019, I did over 10 states and 2 countries, and I was at the airport like every month. So that's what I'm trying to do again in 2022.
You love that.
Yeah,
Love that.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. Do you, when you go out and tour, do you have an opener that you like to bring, or do you just whatever the club supplies?
Whatever the club has or whoever. Yeah, I never. If I'm in Chicago, I have more control over that, and it's easier logistically. But yeah, it's whoever they choose or whatever.
Awesome.
So.
Awesome. We'll let you go, man. We'll let you go. We'll exactly almost at an hour, right? Dude, thanks for coming out, man. I know it's a bit of a drive to come out here.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, don't ever ask me again.
Yeah.
One and done. One and done, you son of a bitch.
This episode's called Gas Money.
Yeah,
Gas
money.
money.
Yeah. Hey man.
Which I'm not receiving any.
Yeah. It's like, but yeah, dude, thank you for coming. Thank you for doing the show with us. Appreciate it. Yeah. Tell them where they can find you, man. All your plugs.
So Jayson Avocado, Jayson Avocado, at Jayson Avocado on Twitter, Instagram, JaysonAvocado.com. And then my OnlyFans is MilbyDoubleDuds6969.
Damn, let me get that.
I didn't know you were that type of
get that,
guy,
bro.
man.
So you gotta make
$4.99. $4.99.
You gotta make money. It's just me eating pizza. Every shot.
Some people get off that, man.
Dude, you're doing it right. Then. You're doing it
Sometimes I
right.
put my feet in the pizza.
Oh man,
That's when I order thin crust. So.
It gets spiced with the jalapenos on my toes.
but
But
you're making more money doing that than comedy, bro.
Yes,
So, yeah.
and it's upsetting.
But we'll put everything in the description below, man, so people can come and reach you. Like we said, we'll have you on June 24th at Mookie's.
Crystal Lake.
Oh, and if you want to buy the special, it's only $5 online. It's 1 hour. It's a completely improvised musical stand-up comedy experience, and it's called Lonely Wit. And that show was dedicated to my sister and my nephew Liam. So if you want to watch that, that would be dope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely,
for sure.
definitely go check it out. We'll check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, actually, damn, I forgot it. It's in my car. I got you a copy.
Oh, okay.
no
Oh,
way.
awesome. Even better, dude.
It's-
Save $5.
I'm negative 10 in the whole thing.
Yeah. we'll buy you a whole 6-pack next time.
taking
you come.
sodas.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, take them.
Take them, bro.
But yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for coming
Yeah,
through.
man, we appreciate
I'll
it.
let the people know where you can find us.
Guys, we're on YouTube, of course. Check us out, Daily Down Insomnia. Check out our mixology videos, highlight videos, past episodes. Check us out. We're on every podcast station possible: Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Podbean. I mean, we're everywhere, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, and of course, you guys can find me on Instagram, King Diaz Live.
Oh, this mouse. Oh, it's gonna die on me, huh?
AMC to the moon.
Oh.
AMC, yeah, and Bitcoin, please. Let's bring Bitcoin back to life.
Bring it back, right?
Yeah.
But guys, thank you for watching. Like always, this is Daily Insomnia. Signing off.
Peace out, y'all.
Oh, this
Oh,
is.
no,
Of
no,
course
no,
not.
no, hold on.
Man,
Let me get on
sign
me.
off
This
one
is.
more time.
Yeah, this is the. Hey guys, Ramon from Daily Insomnia. Thank you for watching our video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button right here. Watch our mixology videos up here. And if you want to see our latest episode, it's right here. Like always, guys, this is Daily Insomnia. Sign off.